as a progressive, proud member of this body for the last 12 years, I'm done. I'm done with us protecting people who would buy and abuse our children. I'm done.
Let's talk about United States versus Hawkins. He uploaded 5 video files of child pornography from his computer to YouTube. This is how the police got onto him. He then uploaded another 36 depictions of child porn and other lewd photos.
We are particularly concerned that the harsher penalties proposed in this bill will disproportionately impact marginalized communities, especially members of the LGBTQ community.
Some of them involving very young children. 17 videos.
Who already suffer from systematic biases within the criminal justice system, particularly when it comes to sexually based offenses.
24-minute, 6-second video depicting a 12-year-old male committing a sexual act. I'm not gonna read exactly what it was.
It's short for virtuous pedophiles. Not virtuous as in they're better than everyone because they're attracted to children, but virtuous like having moral standards and a sexual orientation that they have no control over, like the rest of us.
There's a 1-minute and 57-second video depicting an 8-year-old committing a sexual act.
Before you get all worked up, I'm talking about pedophilia.
There was an 11-minute and 47-second video depicting an 11-year-old committing a sexual act and being raped by an adult male.
Not child molestation or rape. Pedophilia is the sexual attraction to children.
There was a 15-minute and 19-second video depicting 2 11-year-olds committing sexual acts.
Molestation and rape are different. These are abusive actions that often have nothing to do with attraction.
There was a 7-minute and 51-second video depicting a 12-year-old committing a sexual act. So
many child abusers are actually sexually attracted to adults, but they act out on children. Meaning you probably don't object to pedophiles because you're compassionate and rational.
This is a tough case. This is one of those tough cases you were referencing earlier. You talked about it this morning. You said these cases are terrible. This is one of them. This is terrible stuff.
Alan Walker said the word pedophile shouldn't be used to refer to people who are attracted to children because it comes with a stigma.
You gave the defendant 3 months. Guidelines called for 10 years. Prosecutor wanted at least 2. You gave him 3 months. And when you did, you made a number of arguments and statements in the record, and I'd like to go through some of them because I've read them all.
There is research on the subject. Not much, but there are what they call MAPs, minor attracted persons.
Less stigmatizing than other terms like pedophile.
The first argument you made was that the federal guidelines that punished child porn offenders, the ones that Congress wrote, were, and I'm quoting you now, are in many ways outdated.
A lot of people, when they hear the term pedophile, they automatically assume that it means a sex offender.
That's your quote. And you went on to say about why you thought they were outdated. I'm going to quote you again. You say, and I quote, "I don't feel that it's appropriate to increase the penalty on the basis of the number of images or prepubescent victims, meaning little kids, as the guidelines require, because these circumstances exist in many cases, if not most, and don't signal an especially heinous or egregious child pornography offense," end quote.
People who are attracted to minors, that these dolls actually decrease their proclivity to go out and attack children, that it actually gives them a release.
I just want to ask you about that because I just have to tell you I'm having a hard time wrapping my head around it. We're talking about 8-year-olds and 9-year-olds and 11-year-olds and 12-year-olds. He's got images of these, the government said added up to over 600 images, gobs of video footage of these children, but you say this does not signal a heinous or egregious child pornography offense.
Studies have shown that LGBTQ people, particularly gay and transgendered individuals, are more likely to be charged with sex offenses compared to their heterosexual counterparts.
Congress wanted you to choose between 97 and 121 months. That's what Congress wanted. The Supreme Court in Booker said that the sentencing guidelines would be discretionary, so the Supreme Court gave you the discretion. But if we're talking about what Congress has wanted, Congress wanted them to be mandatory. My only point in raising that is just to say that you had discretion in these cases, and you used your discretion to choose the sentences that you did.
For instance, LGBTQ individuals are 9 times more likely to be charged with sodomy.
But let me just ask you about what you said to this defendant.
In writing this book, I didn't want to use pedophile discourse.
You said to this defendant, for whom you sentenced to only 3 months in prison, that your collection, I'm quoting you, your collection at the time that you were caught was not actually as large as it seems.
So I do talk about intergenerational sex.
The government felt the need to respond to you on the record. They said the government doesn't believe that it's appropriate to just disregard the number of images, that the number of images can be appropriate. And indeed, in this case, the defendant has amassed an extremely large collection of child pornography.
I don't use the discourse of survivors or necessarily abuse.
But you disregarded that. You also told the defendant, you said this seems to be a case where you were fascinated by sexual images involving what were essentially your peers.
This is a contentious term because I think by the standards of our time, we don't see any possibility for sex between adults and children. We see it as rape, right? And not falling within the framework of sex or sexuality.
This is you to the defendant. You were viewing sex acts between children who were not much younger than you, and this whole discussion is about why you're only giving him 3 months. Judge, he was 18. These kids are 8. I don't see in what sense they're peers.
Today, EBC must strongly oppose Senate Bill 1414 for the reasons I will state. We stand against any punitive measure that perpetuates systemic injustices.
You also said there's no reason to think that you are a pedophile.
These are the times that I am discouraged about my job as a representative and also just what happens here at the Capitol.
Something I really need your help understanding. Then you apologized to him. And I just have to tell you, I can't quite figure this out. You said to him, this is a truly difficult situation. I appreciate that your family's in the audience. I feel so sorry for them and for you and for the anguish this has caused all of you.
We sat in a committee all day discussing whether or not somebody that buys little children, these are 2, 3, 4, 5-year-old kids, and they buy them for sex.
And then you go on to say sex offenders are truly shunned in our society.
That we tried to get a bill through, Representative Bradley sent one through, that was going to put these buyers in jail. Right now, most of the time, they get off on probation, almost all the time.
There was a victim impact statement in this case. It didn't get read into the record, but it was there.
And then we sat and listened to the Democrats fight against this bill, fight against putting these people in jail, and came up with all kinds of reasons, including that these buyers are victims themselves.
Here you are giving him 3 months and apologizing to him and saying you feel sorry for the anguish it's caused him, and also saying you think that sex offenders are truly shunned in our society.
This is very discouraging, and it's also very disgusting for me that they would actually defend this. And then they voted completely along party lines. The Democrats voted 100% that they did not want to put these pedophiles in jail.
All due respect, and I'm telling you what, I'll be direct with you. I am questioning your discretion and your judgment. That's exactly what I'm doing.
They defended the pedophiles. This is why it's so difficult sometimes to do what we do around here. We know we're on the side of right, we know we're on the side of morality, and we get shot down by, I do not understand the thought process behind this.
You say to him that he's not a pedophile. I don't know how you know that. I don't know why that's relevant to the guidelines, but maybe it is. You say he's not a pedophile. You say that you're very sorry for him and what he suffered, and then you give him 3 months when, frankly, a liberal prosecutor is asking for 2 full years. I mean, it does seem like an extraordinary case to me. It would bother me no matter what. It really bothers me when in every case, child porn case you've had discretion, you've sentenced below the guidelines and below the government's recommendation.
If you're queer and your family voted for Trump like mine did, hi, hello, I'm your mother now. Just checking in. Have you drank water today? Did you eat? Did you take your meds? Did you breathe? Are you breathing? You gotta breathe in your belly, babe. Let's take a breath together, okay? Ready? Inhale through the nose. Hold. Exhale through the mouth.
I'm done with us protecting people who would buy and abuse our children. I'm done.